it's Lisa, Rambling Hour with Lisa, and I'm live on this Sunday, May 30th, 2001. So May is almost done, and then we're into June, and it'll feel like summer. This week, the temperature today was nice, in the 20s, and it's supposed to be like that all week, so all I want to do is be outside, but I have things to do in the house. Sorry I'm late, but it happens. I did dye my hair again, and I said that I wanted it lighter than it was before I got my hair cut, but darker than the really bleach blonde. So this is a natural lighter blonde that I want, and I'm hoping it'll go with the white hair as the white hair comes in. I'm not completely gray. It's still like a bit of salt and pepper, but we'll see how my roots come in for this. I know that my natural blonde will be darker than this, but the gray will obviously be as light as this. So I might just do once my roots grow in a bit, I might go to a hairdresser's and get them to do streaks and matching my natural hair color that's still coming through. Maybe even, no, I don't think I want streaks of gray in it anyway, but I don't know. I have been told maybe I should just let it grow out naturally. And then not only that, there was somebody else who posted about growing. It's been over a year that they've grown their hair out naturally, and it's quite gray. And they're not much older than me. And it at first when I saw it, it was like a drastic change because she has black hair, and so when she was dyeing it, she kept dyeing it black. But now that I've seen it for a while and I've gotten used to it, it actually doesn't look bad in it. And you can see by her face how old she is, even if she's wearing gray hair on top of her head. So I guess I have to think about that. When my gray starts coming in, I think it looks makes me look a lot older than I am. And I don't have a problem with the fact that I'm 42 and I'll be 43. I can't, and I have people in my family who have gray hair, and I know what they look like with dyed hair, and I know what they look like with the gray, and the gray just seems to age you so much, and I'm not ready for that yet. So what is new with you guys? I'm in the office today because Steve did a workshop yesterday, an angels workshop, so I set up the background for Feathers Academy, and I just thought, well, because this is already set up, I might as well just do my live from in here. That made it easier because it's still gorgeous outside, and I still want to be outside. So yeah, it hasn't got dark out yet. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm just waiting for more viewers, and then we'll go into our discussion today. I did do a little bit of research on what I wanted to discuss today, but not as much connection available. Have we lost our connection? I hope not. My phone should go on to 4G if the internet connection isn't good. I can't see the router from here. So yeah, so I know some books that I want to discuss and some of the things that we talked about last week, but I'll just wait until I have a few more viewers, the ones that I know were on last week, and we can continue talking about what we were talking about last week. So hi Auntie Diane, I see that you're on. I can see that there's other people on, but I don't know who they are because it doesn't always tell me. So I don't have a guest today, and I haven't done my workout yet today because I wanted to be outside as much as I could be. But we have an electrician coming tomorrow. Don't even get me started on this electrician thing. This is like the third or fourth electrician that we've contacted, and this one's supposed to come tomorrow, and he seems legit. Like, he seems like he's going to show up and not do the work. Tomorrow is just him going over everything with us in the house. I don't know why it's so hard to get an electrician here to just get the work done. Oh, is it a beautiful day there too, Melody? Glad to hear it. Melody's on today watching, and I hope you're feeling better, Melody. I hate when I do that. What were we talking about? Beautiful day, wanted to be outside, electrician coming tomorrow, so there's some things in the house that I'd like to tidy up just because, well, I was painting Allison's room this last week, and so there's just stuff on the landing and stuff everywhere, and I just, I'm not really wanting the house to be as disastrous as it is when the electrician comes tomorrow. Ace says, gorgeous here too. I've been outside doing a yard sale all weekend. That's awesome. Hope you made a lot of money. And they both live, like my friend Aislinn lives in the same province, but different city as my sister. So that's in Alberta that it's lovely weather. And I think me and Melody went over our weather with each other, and it seems that it's going to be quite similar in the next few weeks from Edmonton in Alberta, Canada, and here in Middlewich, England in the UK. And Melody says she's feeling a bit better every day, so that's good. Hi, Erin. I hope everybody's good today. I don't know if everybody's on who was watching last week, but they can watch us from the beginning if they want. Auntie Diane says it's beautiful in Grand Prairie as well. That's up in the north, well, more north than Edmonton and Red Deer and Airdrie. Oh my God. Aislinn, I can't remember what, I think you're in Airdrie now. So, last week we were talking about, yes, Airdrie, okay. So, oh yeah, I was going to say, so for working out, oh, look at that. Yeah, and this one over here. This one's better because I still have that injury right here. But, and I did shave my armpits, Melody, a couple days ago, so. Anyways, that's not what I wanted to talk about. Today's day, I haven't done my workout yet because I want to be outside, so I'm going to do my workout after my live, and it'll be day 286. Not only that, this is episode 6 of season 3 of the Rambling Hour. So last week we were talking about planning for death, and I know it sounds morbid, but we were talking about different things like not just your will and what if you're donating organs and that kind of stuff, or how you want your funeral to be, although that's important too. It was more about the advanced directives and if you want to do not resuscitate and what your wishes are, because it's really important to have those things in place while you're still of sound mind and before anything, God forbid, accidental or anything happens to you, because your loved ones aren't going to know what to do. And you can imagine if you've been in those positions before, or if you just can imagine being in a position where you have to make a decision like that for a loved one. Even doing it for your animals is hard enough if you have to decide to put down an animal, let alone making those decisions for your human loved ones. So last week we were talking about this a little bit, and I was talking about a podcast that I listened to called End of Life University, because I'm really drawn to the idea of being a death doula, which is a term that they use. Basically, like a birth doula is somebody who helps bring babies into the world. So a death doula would be someone who helps people leave this world on this side. If you believe in what I believe with spirits, then there is spirits who will help you enter the spirit world when you cross over. But I want to help people here dealing with those last, whether it's terminal illness or an accident, or however. I've just always been drawn to death, and not in a morbid, like I want to kill people way, but in a, I hate to think of somebody being scared of what's to come, or thinking that they've sinned and believing in a hell that they're going to be punished, and just going into their death afraid and feeling alone. So this End of Life podcast that I listen to has to do with a lot of those things. Every week that she has an episode, it has to do with different things. We even talked about last week, we talked about funerals, and we talked about natural funerals, natural burials, having funerals at home instead of in a funeral home, saving costs that way, and what kind of coffins or cremation, and really looking into those things to make sure that you're not overspending, and remembering that you don't need to spend a lot on your loved one for them to know how much you love them. Buying them the most expensive, best coffin ever doesn't mean you love them more than the person who can only afford the pine box. So make sure that you let your loved ones know what you want, so that they're not overspending and going broke to make you have the best funeral or celebration of life ever. Anyways, some of the books that were suggested from the podcasts that I listened to were these ones, and I haven't read them yet, so I can't tell you what they're like, but I did want them that much that I did order them so that I can read them. So this one's called Signposts of Dying. I need to smile beside it so I can take a screenshot. And it says what you need to know. Signposts of Dying by Dr. Atkins is an excellent practical guide to the astonishing inner world of dying. Terminally ill patients, their families, and their caretakers will greatly benefit from this inspiring and thoughtful guidebook. It also, with the death stuff, some of the other episodes of her podcast has to do with helping people care for their loved ones at home, and where, what kind of support is available. And it is based out of the United States, but it's still a lot of good information for, if you have elderly parents and you're having to care for them at home, and different things that are in place, and what hospice means, and when is the appropriate time to look into hospice if somebody is going to pass away. Sometimes they say that people look at hospice way too late, where they look at it in the last weeks of life, where you could have really good benefits from hospice within the last year of your life if you're terminal or stuff. So this one is called Before I Go, The Essential Guide to Creating a Good End of Life Plan. So this is basically what I'm talking about making your plans, not just for, like I said, not just after death, like funeral and your will and everything else, but even planning what you want to happen in an emergency, or what you want with your body, or any of that stuff. So I'm just going to do, and let me see. Too often a person wishes for end of life care, and for after they have gone, have not been recorded and leave their loved ones guessing. With this valuable guide, you can now begin to document this for yourself, so your relatives will be able to honor your wishes more easily, saving them unnecessary stress and upset at a potentially intense time. Before I Go addresses the emotional, spiritual, and practical aspects of end-of-life planning to help you make well-informed decisions about your end-of-life care and prepare well for your death. Jane Duncan Rogers guides you with the equanimity, care, and humor through subjects such as how to have a conversation about dying, the impact of grief on relatives responsible for estate matters, and do-it-yourself funerals and what that entails. She states clearly that what you need to have in place to ensure the best end of life possible helps you identify your values and beliefs in this area, and demonstrates which actions you then need to take and when. With a full resource pack of essential information available to you, including guided questions, exercises, and recording tools, as well as downloadable worksheets and supportive online courses, decision making will be made much easier, and you will find relief and peace of mind knowing you have taken care of outstanding matters. You can update your wishes at any time and feel confident that if anything happens to you suddenly, you and your family will be as well prepared as possible to deal with it. With the end-of-life wishes clearly defined, you gain the freedom to continue living your life to the fullest, knowing that difficult decisions have been handled. So I am gonna read this one as well. I'm still reading. I still haven't finished the What Dreams Have Come. So I'm still finishing that, and then I'll get to these ones. Now, last week also I talked about this book, and I accidentally said that Grandma's Still Grandma. I thought it had to do with dementia and Alzheimer's, but I was mistaken. I'll show you that book in a second. This one, Grandma's Still Grandma, has to do with a woman who has Parkinson's, and she wrote this from the eyes of her. In the book, it's a granddaughter, but I can't remember if she says in the eyes of her grandson. 5-year-old perspective of my 5-year-old granddaughter. Yeah, so she wrote it in the perspective of her 5-year-old granddaughter, how it looks to her when her grandma, who she used to know to be able to do so many things, is slowly starting to not be able to do the things or be different than other people's grandmothers. So this is a really good read, especially for kids having to deal with grandparents or even parents who are going through those types of struggles. This one, the cover isn't really like that great, but there is a reason that they did the puzzle, and I'll explain that in a minute. But this made me cry reading this, but at the same time it's really good. And this one has to do with teaching children about Alzheimer's and dementia. And the man who wrote this book he helped with his grandma lived with them, and his job was to help his grandma have, you know, good days and take care of her and everything. So this one was written, this is the one that I said I heard about. So it says copyright 2013, 2015. So maybe it's that, but I heard about it quite a few years ago. So he was 17 when he wrote the book, but it says Max Wallach, 17, is a junior at Boston University and a laboratory researcher in the molecular psychiatry and aging lab at BU School of Medicine. Max was a caregiver to his great-grandmother who had Alzheimer's disease, and in 2008 he founded Puzzles to Remember. So Puzzles to Remember, I talked about that a little bit last week, and it has to do with doing puzzles and stuff like that with people who have Alzheimer's or dementia. It helps them to stay more, you know, your brain is a muscle, so using that muscle will help you to stay better and for the ailment to not take over as quickly. So that was www.puzzlesstoremember.org for the Puzzles to Remember. And it's an organization that has supplied over 60,000 puzzles to Alzheimer's facilities around the world. A member of the American Association for Geriatric Psychiatry, Max gives research presentations at national conferences and has published articles about his work in scientific journals. Max is studying to become a geriatric psychiatrist, working with Alzheimer's patients and their caregivers. So, this book was awesome and it made me cry. So, I don't know that, I was listening to the podcast again today, but I'm not sure that there's anything else that I need to say about these things. Just that, you know, you need to think about these things, and again, not in a morbid way, but what would you want if somebody that you love passed away? You would want to know what they want. And one of the reasons when my dad passed away that it was quite easy is because, well, first of all, me and my siblings were really good with loving each other and respecting each other, and none of us acted selfish or crazy. And even the best people with the best intentions can turn a little bit crazy when there's a death. So there's all that, plus the stress, plus the heartache and the grief of losing the person, because you don't know who it's going to be. And so you got to think about, if you haven't already gone through that, what would you want in place if you had to say goodbye to a loved one? So does anybody have any questions or anything? Is there anything else you guys want to talk about now that I've gone on with? See, that's why I thought the angel was a good background thing too, with the afterlife and death and dying. And, okay, there's beautiful weather. We've talked about that. Anything else? I've been trying to make, I think I said this last week too, but my Bitmoji, the little cartoon me that I put on an hour or two before I do my live, just to let everyone know that I'm going to be going live. I'm trying to match the clothes to what I'm going to wear. So when I went upstairs in my room today to figure out what I was going to wear for today, then I went and made the Bitmoji and made the little post about it. So, but it was just a white one, and so I put some flowers on it, because then I'm wearing this. And I did have I don't even know where I put it now, so it's a good thing it's not cold. But I did have a little, like a cardigan to put over this if I was cold. But so everybody's having nice weather, which, you know what, that is the thing. Like, not only do I want to be outside, I bet everybody else who's having nice weather, especially on a weekend, is wanting to be outside. So I don't know how many people are tuning into this right now, especially in Canada where it's the afternoon right now, so they might be watching it later. So if you're watching this at a later time, hello to all of you as well. I really, really am happy with this hair color. I think it looks much better than the yellowy bleach blonde. Melody says, Mom says hi. She texted me and told me to say hi to you. Okay, hi Mom. I don't know if you're watching or not, but if you're not watching now, you can watch it later. What else is new with everyone? Like I said, this last week I painted Allison's room, and that is done. So Allison's been, the girls have this week off. It's their term break, so they are working on cleaning the room that will only be Erica and Aurora's now, and Allison's moving all her stuff into her room. So it's the girls' room is really messy, but they have all week to work on that. But I'm gonna insist that it be done soon, but I've just been too busy today to kick their butt. And here in England, it's what we call in Canada a long weekend, or what they call here a bank holiday weekend. So tomorrow is a holiday. So besides the electrician coming, oh, and the girls are getting their hair cut tomorrow, just trims. And it's still a busy day, but Steve doesn't have to go to work, so he'll be here for the electrician if I don't get back in time as well to be with him. From the girls getting haircuts, it's just my friend Samantha, her mom Carolyn, who's going to cut their hair, which reminds me I need to get some cash so I can pay her. Yeah, so what else do I have this week? Besides that, like I said, the weather's going to be in the 20s all week, and I haven't set up the pool, and I don't know if I'm going to set up the pool, but I might just get the dog's pool out and then put some water in it and just, like, take over the dog's pool, because I can move that one around easier. But, the other thing is then, because it's really nice this week, I don't know how much I'm going to do this, but if it ends up not being nice for whatever reason, my next project, now that Allison's room is done, is that room in the caravan that's going to be Steve's recording studio and sound studio. So I need to clean that room out and then paint it, and then he's going to order some soundproofing stuff and everything to make it into a nice sound studio and recording studio. And I did have some ideas for it and everything, but then he said some things that he wanted, and I realized I do a lot in the house and the garden and have a lot of areas that are the way I want them. So this could be his room, just his room, his man cave, and it can be however he wants it. I'll do the work like painting and stuff if that makes him happy, but just because he works a lot, so he doesn't have the time to do those things. But I'll let him decide how he wants it. I'll do it even if I use it for my lives, I'll just do it how he would prefer it, because he's the one who's going to be using it most of the time. So it's like if he wanted to use my garden shed once it's built. I don't mind him using it, but I wouldn't want him to go in and organize it the way he wants it, especially if I'm the one using it more often. So Melody says Mom is doing some flower planting. That is what I would be doing if I was outside right now, but I still haven't eaten supper yet either, and like I said, I need to do my workout. And Steve, because it's a bank holiday, so you know how Steve went out last Sunday and saw his mate, and they played darts and stuff, and had a visit, their first visit in months. So today's Sunday, so I thought he was going to go out today, so I was saving my workout to do after my live, so I had more time outside. But they're not going out because it's bank holiday, and they don't usually go out on bank holidays. So I'm going to finish my live, do my workout, and then probably spend time with Steve. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get outside anymore today, even though I want to. We'll see how light it is still at 9 o'clock when I'm done my live. Yeah, it is a rambling hour because I'm really good at rambling. But it's also hard to ramble if I don't have a topic or if there's not as much interaction with the comments from my guests. Which again, my viewers, so there might not be as many viewers just because it is such a nice day, which makes me wonder if I should take the summer off. It's only an hour of rambling once a week, so I don't think it's a big deal. And I've tried to have it at a time that it works for people from Canada and from here to watch live at the same time, but I wonder if maybe there's a better time or a better time of the week that would make my lives easier for more people to tune in live instead of watching them later. Mind you, I know like my podcasts I listen to all the time. I have my headphones on like most of the time. I can listen to them wherever and when I'm doing stuff. So even though I talk with my hands sometimes, lots of my rambling is just something that you can listen to in your headphones if you haven't watched it live. Yeah, so you can hear me drinking. Isn't that disgusting when everything's super quiet and then you hear someone like chewing or... Okay, so Steve doesn't do it. It's not being gross or anything, but at night, because I want it dark and quiet, and he can't sleep a lot of times because he's either in pain or it just runs in his family. They don't sleep very much. He'll wear headphones so that I don't hear the TV, and I'll wear a mask so that it's dark and the TV doesn't bother me, so we both make the compromise, right? But then I'm trying to fall asleep and it's super quiet, and he might just be eating a couple peanuts or sometimes if he has a sore throat and he unwraps a lozenger and just the crinkling of the thing and then moving it around his mouth, and like he's not doing anything wrong and he's not gross about it, but because he has headphones on, sometimes you don't realize how loud you are, which is like me. If I have my headphones on, I'm always shouting even more than normally. But yeah, and then also how it's quiet for me to go to sleep, and you're starting to get into that drifting off, and you know, and then so the sounds sound louder. Sometimes it's really like, but it's all right. One day Steve will be my guest. I know last week he made an appearance before he went out. That was nice. So what do you guys think of this hair color? I'm loving it. I was not happy this whole week with the last color, and I just think I'm too old to do the bleach blonde thing, as well as the fact that because it had different colors in it, it wasn't completely bleached in certain spots, and I didn't really feel like putting bleach on it again because I don't want my hair to be super unhealthy. And as you can see, it's not. It looks more unhealthy when it's that bleach blonde, but now that I have a color on it, I think it looks a lot better. Flower planting. I'd love to be outside right now. Oh, we tried out the barbecue a couple days ago. That was awesome. We had steak and burgers, and it was delicious, and so excited to have the barbecue. We have this big, Melody has one of them that she takes camping, and when, you know, a lot of camping spots will have, in Canada, I'll have a picnic table. So as soon as she gets her camping spot, and she, over the picnic table, she'll put, it's like an awning, but it's like, or what's the other term for it? A fold, like, it folds down really easily as one piece, and then opens up, and it's like a canopy to go over, and it has the 4 posts, like 4 corners, like, and then you can put sides on it if it comes with sides. Ours comes with 2 sides, one with a window. But so we bought one of those to put over. Well, I was just at the shop and they had them there. There's these stores here called Aldi and Lidl, and they have these the aisles in the middle where they get products in, you know, special products and stuff. And once they're gone. So they just have different things in. So yeah, they had those there, and I took a picture and sent it to Steve and thought that it might be a good idea. So we bought one, and I brought it home, and we set it up, and it's over the barbecue, but it's quite large, and it goes into what will be a pond at one point, so, and it covers a lot of my plants. I'm just not sure if it's the right place for the barbecue. Looks good where it is. I just don't know. We'll see how this is. Thank you, Mom, and I love you too. So I hope everybody enjoys the weather this week, or for the next few weeks, because if it's anything like here, we don't know how long it'll last, so I really need to enjoy those days. I also drug out the air conditioner out of the closet to put in our room. It's a portable one, so for the winter it was stored away. Because it's on my side of the bed and it just takes up so much room, that I don't want it in there if it's not necessary. But last night was really hard to sleep because it was really stuffy in our room, because, you know, the bedrooms are on the 2nd floor. So, and then if it's not cooling off as much at night, or the fact that we keep our door closed when we sleep, which I guess for fire purposes, you're supposed to sleep with your door closed, but when you're a kid, you want your door open, and you want your parents' door open because you feel safer. And then we just, as a kid, it just ended up like that. We always had our door open, and our parents had their door open. So I've always slept with my door open until being with Steve, our door is closed. So, and I mean, and the girls, they like their door. No, they keep, Allison closes their door. Owen and Tom, they've closed their doors, but, Erica and Aurora, they, like, even when Allison was in that room, the door would stay open a little bit. But I guess now that Allison has her own room, she has been closing her door. I guess it's just a personal preference. So, yeah, it is, like I said, it's May 30th. So May is almost done, and it's almost June. So my niece is going to be 20 in a few days. I talked about that last week. About my nephew turning 20 a few weeks ago, and now Haley's going to be 20 in a few days, and those are the oldest of the grandkids before I had stepkids. So now my stepdaughter Amy and my stepson Owen, they are 29, and give me a second to do the maths. Yeah, Thomas is going to be 20 this year, so Owen is going to be 30 this year, and then a few months later, but it's in February, so it'll be next year, Amy turns 30. So a lot of big birthdays this year. My stepson Tom is going to be 20 in October. So he's the same age as my niece and nephew. Well, they're 6 months older. But you know what I mean. Same year. And so that is exciting. Those are a lot. And our youngest, Erica, who is 12 right now, is going to be 13 on July 3rd. So that is just over a month. Yeah, just over a month. And our youngest will be a teenager. So, which is crazy because when me and Steve started dating, when I got here actually, so it was after a few months after we started dating, and when I got here, we got here on October 5th. 2014, and as I said, Thomas's birthday is in October, and so a few days after we got here, he turned 13. So he was 12 turning 13 when we got here, and now Erica is 12 turning 13. So anybody who has kids, even if they're adults like me, know how quickly the time can go, and then grandkids and, well, nieces and nephews and grandkids, and it just keeps going. So maybe I do need to grow my hair out soon and be an old grandma. Maybe with the first grandkid, that'll be the sign to grow my hair out naturally and let the gray shine through. I don't know. So I am jealous of people who are already going to the lakes and camping and swimming in the lakes in Alberta and Canada, because we have the seaside here, but it's not, first of all, it's not as easy to get to. So, and even if we do get to it, it's the ocean, so it can be freezing, and you gotta time it right for the tide to be in, and then you gotta be careful because you can't be in it when the tide starts going out because of rip tides and like all this. And then it's salt water, and I hate the taste of it. Ugh. So I really miss the lakes, and then when I see people posting pictures of them already swimming in the lakes and everything in Alberta and Canada, I'm just jealous. So people might be jealous of my garden and my flowers and my plants, but I need the pool to have any sort of, actually I have done that last year. I remember like floating on my back in the pool and looking up at the blue sky and just pretending I was at the lake, lying on floating on the lake. So both of my moms are on right now. My mom Marie and Steve's mom Trisha. So hello to all the moms. I don't know what to talk about, so you guys are gonna have to give me some things, or I'm just gonna keep rambling on. Samantha's working tonight, so that is why I haven't heard from her. I've already rambled for a half an hour, so that's good. But I'm gonna have a drink of my pop, and then we'll see what we're gonna talk about. For supper tonight, it was, for Steve, I made, because I have chicken breast cooked, so I made him 2, like, wholemeal buns, because they were the small ones, they're, like, for hamburgers. Thank you, Mom. Mom Trisha. So, for me, Mom in Canada is M-O-M, because that's what we do in Canada and North America. And for Steve's mom, it's Mom, M-U-M, but it comes out of my mouth the same, so when I have to talk about both of them, you can't tell which one I'm talking about. So, Mom Trisha said, you look beautiful, so thank you. Yeah, so 2 little, like, brown whole wheat buns, and then I sliced the chicken breast and made it nice and thin, and then tomato and lettuce and yogurt mint sauce, and a little bit of potato salad on the side because we needed to finish that up. So I gave the rest of the potato salad to Aurora, because I'm nice that way, because Allison and Erica didn't want any. Tom's at his nan's for a week, and so instead of eating it myself, I let the kids have it first, but neither of them wanted it except Aurora, so Aurora finished that off. And then, so that is what Steve ate for supper, but I'm not sure what I'm going to have. I do, like I said, I have cooked chicken breast, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I might just have chicken breast with hot sauce. And then I need a little bit of carbs in there, so, I mean, maybe I could, oh, there wasn't any of those buns left. I don't know, I'll decide after. Oh, actually, I have some thins, like, thin, square, thin bread stuff, you know, and then you put them in, I like them in the toaster, so maybe I'll make a chicken sandwich on a thin. And, yeah, so it's been a great day. Sun shining. I sat outside to do my morning routine of journaling and writing down my food diary and all that stuff. And then I put the dye in my hair, and then I went and sat back outside again and journaled, because I wasn't done yet. And then I showered and got the dye out of my hair, and then I tried to spend time outside. I mowed the lawn, And I potted a few things up by the front door. There's these Cape daisies that I put in bigger pots and put near my front door. There's like this spirally plant display, and so I have these purple pots that I painted, and I tried to put a different type of flower or something in it for each season. So I took out the primroses that I had in it for the spring, and I put in the Cape daisies, but they came in little pots because I just bought some cheap ones from the store called B&M, and so I put them in bigger pots so that they stand up better in the purple pots, the purple ceramic pots, not ceramic, terracotta. Anyways, I'll put a picture of that up when I do my next, well, I guess, like I said, May is almost over, so any pictures that I've taken of the garden in the last couple days, and then today and tomorrow, that will be the end of my gardening album, my May gardening album, so you'll see it in there if you care. But, yeah, they're just different color Cape daisies, so I did that, but there's other things I need to repot, and I did walk around and take pictures of different flowers, because some things will be in bloom all for like months, and some things are very fleeting and only in bloom for a little bit, and then they're gone for the year, and you gotta wait a whole year to get them back. So gardening is fun and a learning experience. I'm always learning. So yeah, this is not a very interactive episode, and like I said, I don't have a guest. So I am, my brain is never necessarily blank, but at the same time, I don't think that you guys just want me to be going over my to-do list with you, although that is kind of what I do, don't I? I tell you what I did the last week, and I tell you what I'm going to do this week, and it's kind of like, this is just like a journal entry, a diary. So, I miss Canada. I dream about it, and so I get to, you know, visit, going back there in my dreams, but I do love I love the weather right now. I love our house, and I love our garden, and both the house and the garden are always being improved upon. So I wish that we had a bedroom for every child. I wish that I could keep a bedroom here for Amy and Owen, but that's not possible, and because Owen's moved out, his room became Allison's. So it was sad that I couldn't keep it for Owen for when he stays over and stuff, but at the same time it was a very exciting new transition for Allison to have her own room, because she hasn't had her own room since we moved here, and so when we moved here she was 10, so yeah, she's 17 now, because coming up in October will be 7 years since we've moved here. So it is very exciting for her to have her own room and to see her style. And it's clean right now, but I'm sure that'll wear off. But that's the other thing about the kids having their own rooms, is that if their room's messy, it's their responsibility, and they can't blame it on each other. Although Aurora and Erica are still sharing a room, it's really a good sized room. It's quite a big room, so we're gonna, when it's clean, we're gonna do a certain, like, kind of a dividing, like half and half, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so, and then like I said, the electrician was supposed to make an appearance tomorrow, so good luck with that. And then there's a joiner, which Steve had to go over with me, the difference between a woodworker, carpenter, joiner, like, you know, they all work with wood, but a joiner who's going to be doing some work for us in the house, door frames and different things, and with the downstairs bathroom, you know, we were waiting on the electrician, so that'll be project number 1. When the electrician can do the work in the downstairs bathroom, the joiner can do the closet, and we can put in the shower where it's supposed to go there. So, I mean, just send me positivity that this is the right electrician for us, and that the work is finally going to be done. Because it's very frustrating, especially for someone who's like me, who's controlling and likes to, you know, if you can't, you know, if I want something done, I try to do it myself if I'm able to, but not everything can be done by me. So the electrical work here, especially because in Canada and North America we have 110 amps going through, no, 120 amps going through our, is it 120? 110 or 120 amps going through our, or volts, sorry, going through the electrical, and here it's double, so it's like 220 or 240 going through, so you cannot do even the little electrical jobs here. at home that you can do in Canada without getting them certified. So I'm not even going to mess with it, and I'm just going to wait for the electrician. But it's very hard to be patient and to not be able to do things myself when I want something done. But I guess that's part of my learning experience, is learning patience and relying on other people, and just, you know, not having instant gratification. So, but it is hard when like, it's like, okay, well, you know, if we have to wait on that, we'll do this and we'll do this. But it's hard when almost every room in the house requires something from an electrician before we can move on with any of the other work. So it's at least I got the garden, although at the same time we don't have any outdoor plugs, so that's something that we would like the electrician to do as well. And technically any water feature I have is supposed to be wired in directly to the mains and not plugged into a socket. So I mean, there's endless jobs for an electrician to do, and to be honest, we've been waiting a few years for an electrician. I could have taken my course, but I don't want to be an electrician, and I'm scared of that much you know, voltage going through the things. But it is frustrating, like I said, doing things myself. There is a part of me that's like, even now, thinking, oh, I might as well just take the course so I can get all this work done, especially if it's this hard to get an electrician out, then maybe there's a need for them, and you know, maybe I don't know. I don't want to be an electrician. I don't think it's my calling. So we're at 40 minutes, almost 41 minutes. So I got 20 more minutes to ramble. If there's anything you want me to talk about, let me know. And yeah, I can't. I am really antsy, and it has to do with the fact that it's nice outside. My legs are getting sore from sitting in this chair, so I'm going to try and kneel on my knees for a minute just to stretch them. Oy. But yeah, I keep wiggling and I keep turning the chair and moving around because I'm just, it's just too nice to be indoors. And actually I wanted to see how dark it got outside while I was doing the live, because I didn't know if it was going to stay light enough to do my live outside, but I'm seeing now that it is. And so next week, I don't know what our topic will be, and I don't know if I'm going to have a guest, but next week I'll be outside from somewhere in the lovely garden, and we'll do the live from in the garden. It is a lovely day in so many ways, and my journaling is just pathetic because I do have a really nice life right now, and I'm not taking that for granted, and I'm not bragging, but every day when I write in my journal, I appreciate that it's another beautiful day, that I'm healthy and happy, and that I get to, you know, I also write in there that I'm grateful for the ability to get my stuff done. You know, that not only am I healthy, but that I have legs that work and arms and hands that work, and I can do the things on my to-do list, and that I appreciate that. So it's important to be grateful for, you know, the things we have in life. And my eating's been all right. It is hard when you start keeping track of your eating. You realize how many snacks you have, and how many bad snacks you have, and how many of those you don't really need, and you're not eating them because your body needs the nutrients, or the, you know, it's not like you're hungry for them, but you're like, I just want these. There's these new cookies called crunchy Oreo cream cookie. Well, I guess biscuits. If you're in Canada, they're probably called crunchy Oreo cream cookies, but here they're called crunchy Oreo cream biscuits. And yeah, luckily we don't have too many of them, but that was something that I've eaten in the last week that I've had a few of. And the ice cream cones. Steve has an ice cream cone most nights after dinner, and he has Cornish vanilla ice cream, and then a waffle cone, but it's dipped, so about a few centimeters, whatever, is dipped in chocolate, and it's super nice. So every time I make him an ice cream, I just think I should have one. Sometimes I just have, after I make his, I'll take the spoon and take a bit of ice cream and put the ice cream away and just eat some ice cream off the spoon and not have a cone, which is better. But sometimes the cone is just as nice as the ice cream, so it's very tempting to to do that. If he wasn't having one, then I'd be fine. But when you have it all out and everything, it's hard. But yeah, it is, when you start keeping track of what you're eating, you realize how many decisions you're making. Even if you think you're eating pretty well and healthy, you realize quickly that you're making a lot of choices that could be better, and your portion sizes could probably be better. So I'm working on it. It's the next thing, at least for me, the working out, because I've been working out for, like I said, today's day 286 once I do my workout. You know, like when they say it takes like 30 days to make something a habit, at least the working out part, it's, you know, it's in place. I'm doing that, and I don't have to think about it if I just keep doing the same thing. Although, yes, you can plateau and you should change up your routine and blah, blah, blah. But what I'm saying is that's in place. I'm not overwhelming myself with the eating, the drinking, the water, the working out, you know, and then you get really bombarded and you feel like crap about yourself because you're not doing it all right and everything. You just start slowly. So, you know, now that the working out is on track and I don't have to worry about that, that now is why I'm focused more on my eating and what I'm eating and how much I'm eating of it. And listen, life is about living. So I'm not going to not have the cookie or biscuit. I'm just going to maybe only have one instead of the whole package. So yeah, it's about that. So I'm still going to have the chips and well, what I mean by chips is like French fries type chips, or the crisps, which is like potato chips. I'm still going to have those things once in a while, but I'm making better choices. And I think I might have said this last week, but because I've made my portions smaller and I know that I'm only going to have like meal, snack every 2.5 hours, even though my portions are small, I really appreciate the food more and the flavor and everything. It seems that my meals I enjoy my meals a lot more because I savor every bite. And I know that when I'm done what's on my plate, that's it for 2.5 hours. And honestly, I'm not hungry. Again, there's a lot of people who can lose weight fast, but they're not doing it in a healthy way. Whether they're starving themselves or I'd rather be healthy and fit, like exercise-wise, and eating more than starving myself or feeling hungry or being depressed about it. So yeah, I'm eating enough to sustain myself, but it really is a lot less than I thought I needed. And I'm never hungry. If anything, like I said before, I'm making those decisions based on wanting snacks, not on needing anything. So, but like I said, I savor every bite because it just tastes really good. And now I just thought of something. Thank you, Megan. Meg, now that you're on, I believe when I was in Ontario, I made dandelions for you and Faith to try. And I know my mom's on too. And I know it's already into summer now, so dandelion season is past. That was the chair. Sounded like I just ripped the leather on it, but I didn't. Yeah, dandelion season is past, but it just made me want dandelion salad. Another reason I thought of that is because, Megan, are you vegan or vegetarian? I can't remember. If you were ever to come and visit, I can make meals for you just like I make for Samantha. But yeah, it's like something that I introduced Megan and her daughter Faith to, that my parents, even my grandma and my mom, like, we ate dandelion salad. And you can steam dandelions. You can do a lot of different things with them. They're really nutritional, but I love them, and I don't get them over here the same way as I did in Canada, because the best place to find them is disturbed ground and like fields that haven't been planted yet and stuff. But here, everything is like maintained because it's such a small country, and you know what I mean? So you don't exactly find empty fields that you can go and dandelion pick. It's not the same if you pick them out of grass, or, which they're hard to get out of anyways, or like under pine trees or spruce trees, because then they get the flavor of that and stuff, so you want them like more in an open. So I have thought about growing my own, because you're going to pick them before they go to seed anyways, so having a dandelion patch, I'm going to have to plant the seeds. It's not going to make more dandelions and spread them all over to the neighbors or anything. So maybe I will do that. Actually, I'm just craving them right now, so I'm just thinking maybe I'll just go do it now. I'll find a wishing dandelion and go in and plant the seeds, and then I'll have salad. I need to do some of that too. Like I said, I've only planted gem corn and spaghetti squash. I haven't even done any lettuce or anything, so I probably should. I've seen now in my compost, because I make homemade compost, I've seen over in my veggie patch, I can see some tomato seeds that have sprouted, so I might leave a couple of those in and have some tomatoes. But I will, yeah, I need to plant some lettuce and spinach and stuff like that. But actually, especially if you're going to get a lot of hot weather, there's certain veggies that will grow better in semi-shade or shaded areas, because if you grow lettuce in a hot bed, like where that gets a lot of sun, and you don't keep it watered enough, it'll bolt. That means like it'll set seed. So if you have it in a semi-shaded area or shaded area, spinach, lettuce, and stuff like that will still grow, and it'll grow slower, so you can get a better harvest from it. So Megan says, oh, that she is vegan and she loves seeing my gardening adventures and plants. Well, Megan, I think you just signed on, but I said a few minutes ago that I was checking it today to see if it would still be light outside at 9 o'clock for me here, 9 p.m. And it is still light outside right now. So next week's live will be live from Lisa's garden. So I'm not sure where I'll set up in the garden, what a nice background will be, but it'll be somewhere out there. Anybody who wants to tell me where they think, should I go in front of the Tudor bed? Should I go where you can see the pond in the background? The stream? I don't know. Or the raised beds? I know that people want to tour the garden, so there's a few places that I might have to tidy up a little bit before I do the tour of the garden, but maybe I'll do that as well. I hope everyone is having a good weekend. And again, like I said, here in the UK, it is a long weekend, a bank holiday weekend. So people, I mean, I don't know how many adventures people are having, because the rules are a little bit more relaxed here, but not as much as like would be in normal times. And Megan says, yay, garden tour for sure. Yes. So speaking of things like that, I've really enjoyed looking at other people's pictures and stuff like that on Facebook and Instagram too. It seems like a lot of my friends have good lives as well and are posting positive family time and just great things in their life, whether it's jumping through a sprinkler or doing paintings at home or anything. Just really look around and enjoy the things that you have, and it's the little things that matter in life. I watched a really good movie last night with Steve. It was from like 2018, I think. No, it came out in 2017 in North America, but it came out in 2018 in the UK. And it's called 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Ebbing, Missouri. Anyways, if you want to look it up, even if you put in 3 billboards, it'll come up. And it has to do with a woman who lost her daughter. Her daughter was raped and murdered. And she felt that the mother felt that the police weren't doing enough after so many months not finding who did this to her daughter. So she rented 3 big billboards and posted about the, the leader of the police, I can't remember what it's called, and her daughter, and why there hasn't been the case hasn't been solved. Anyways, there is parts of it there was a true story that inspired the movie, but the movie is not based on a true story. But I see where, when you know the true story, you can see, oh, they put that in there and they put that in there and stuff like that. Anyways, the movie was emotional and intense. And there's bad people who do good things, and there's good people who do bad things. And my takeaway from the movie is all there is love in the world. And all we can do is be the best us that we can be, no matter how people treat us, no matter what shit happens to us. In the end, how we handle that and how we behave and what we do with ourselves is what matters. And that's what we will judge ourselves on after we pass away. So that is what you need to think about, is being the best you that you can be. And always trying to improve on yourself, because we all have work to do, and that's what we're here for. Right? We're here to learn and be better and grow spiritually and all that fun stuff. So who have you helped in life, and what have you learned? So yes, we're also here to help other people on their journey and to help them grow and be better people as well. That doesn't mean telling them what to do or how to be. That means being there for them when they need you and being a inspiration by example. So when you can be the best you that you can be, you will then in turn inspire other people to be the best them that they can be, and the world will be a better place. So I'm just gonna have a sip of pop and think about what I'm going to say for the next few minutes before we say goodbye until next week in the garden. Someone is coming in the office. Yes?
Your friendly neighborhood lion.
It's my friendly neighborhood lion who's going to get her hair chopped off tomorrow.
No, not chopped off.
No, not chopped off, but I really do need to do something with the contrast here, whether I'm going to do dark and light streaks in it to just blend it so it can keep growing out, or do I don't know what I'm going to do, but she's going to get it chopped off to,
Yeah.
But look at this, I love these curls, look at these curls.
Mom.
Yeah. Okay, you going to bed?
I like your curls.
Megan says hi.
Hi.
This is the one that's going to be a teenager. Our baby's going to be a teenager in a month. I cannot believe. Okay.
Mom.
Okay, say bye.
Bye.
Love you. Good night.
How much is getting chopped off? Like an estimate?
No,
of this
just
piece-
what-
no. An estimate of this piece of hair, how much? Tell
Like,
me to stop.
like an inch. Like this.
That much?
Okay, I'm on my live. No, keep going. Keep going. About there. Just the ends.
That's so much.
Oh, okay. Good night. Hi, Auntie Joan. I hope everybody, like I said, is having a good weekend. And for those of you who live here, you're having a long weekend, so you still have another day that you don't have to go to work. If you're in North America, in Canada, you will have to go to work tomorrow because you had your long weekend last weekend. So, Megan says, I can't believe she is going to be a teenager. She has grown so much since I saw her at the airport. I know, and Megan, I know I've said that. I don't know why my lighting, besides the fact that it's getting, maybe because it's getting darker outside, my lighting has gone really bright on my face. So yeah, I know I need to, when traveling is back to being a possibility, I will try and get myself to Ontario to see all you guys again, because I really miss you. And I don't know if I can bring the kids, but yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. Like, October will be 7 years since we moved here. So that's when you saw her. So she's already been here for over half of her life. And, so 6 years and 3 months. So she was 6 years and 3 months old when she got here. So for her to be here for another half of her life would be 12 years and 6 months. So that was September, October, November, December, January. So in January, it was half of her life in Canada, half of her life here. So yes, now she is over half of her life lived in the UK. And Megan says, I would love that. Ontario misses you too. Thank you. And then obviously, when traveling is normal again, we have the caravan guest house. And we will love to host our friends and relatives. And it's so unfortunate. I mean, besides a lot of things with COVID, there's a lot of unfortunate things like people losing their lives and being sick and all that. But at the same time, in my world, it's sad because there was so many people who had planned on coming and visiting us, and we had plans for different people to come and visit and stay, and all of those got, postponed. And we even had a wedding that we were supposed to go to in Spain in September that got postponed. So we'll see how soon this COVID stuff can be over, and hopefully the vaccine will be good for any of the new variants as well. Oh, that is something that happened. Steve got his second vaccination on Friday, so he's feeling a little bit rough from that as well. And no, I still haven't got mine. I know I keep calling the doctors. I need to get into the hospitals to do it. So I've waited long enough now. So next week I am going to be calling them every single day until they get me in, because I need to get it. Or else I'm just going to book it back at the, well, see, I don't want to do that. I don't want to just go to the Civic Hall and what happens if I do have a bad reaction. So Megan says, I go for my second vaccine soon. That's good, Meg. I'm really happy for you. I want to get mine. I still am taking precautions, and even if I was vaccinated, I would still wear my mask and stay away from people when I go out and stuff. But it's just frustrating because I'm not the one who said I need to go to the hospital. It was the doctor who said I needed to go to the hospital. So you'd think that they would make it a priority. The fact that I've already brought my ass down to the civic hall to get the vaccination shows that I want it and shows that I'm willing to put in the effort. So they really need to get me an appointment at the hospital if that's where I need to have it done. Anywho, it's another week, and I hope everybody has had a good rambling hour with me. If you haven't watched this from the beginning, you can go back and watch the beginning, and I suggested some books to read that I'm going to be reading soon. Also, with the movie that I was supposed to watch, Soul, the Disney movie Soul, S-O-U-L, I found that it's on Disney Plus, but we don't have Disney Plus, so I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to watch the movie Soul. I'll try and find it somewhere that I can watch it that doesn't cost anything. So I'll let you guys know what I think of it when I watch it. And yes, other than that, I will be reading my books. And like I said before, what I do with my books is I open the page, take a picture, turn the page, take a picture, turn the page, take a picture, and then I can read my books on my phone, and the books still stay in good form and such. So yes, Melody, I was thinking about that because I know I talked to you a couple days ago, but I'm glad to know that you're, healing every day. So whenever you have time and are feeling like it, don't feel pressured to FaceTime me. But Melody says, love you, have a great week. Meg says, love you so much. Lisa Mae Furlong, all the best to you and the family. I love you guys too. And I will try and FaceTime sometime this week. And, yes, I am really excited to... I don't think I'm going to get back outside today, but it's starting to get a bit like dusk, like twilighty out, but it's still like not too bad. But I still have to do my workout, so I guess you guys don't know because I made it look like I'm dressed nice, but those people that like don't wear pants for they're like, I am wearing pants, so you don't need to worry about that. But I guess I'll bring this down, it'll be easier. But I'm wearing my sweatpants still, so I'm ready to go and do my, but actually weirdly they match, the colors match, so I'm ready to go and do my workout as soon as I'm done this. And I'm wearing my trainers still because I didn't take off my sweatpants, so I didn't have to take off my shoes. So I'm ready, and I'm just gonna leave this on and sweat in it. Oh no, I can't because I'm wearing a normal bra. So I have to go put on a sports bra, and I thought I was ready. But I'll do my workout, and then I'll eat some supper, and I'll spend some time with my Steve, and tomorrow's gonna be really nice out, so no, all these responsibilities. I have to take the kids for their haircuts, and then the electrician's coming, and then I'll get outside, hopefully. All right, I love you guys, and we will see you next week for Rambling Hour episode 7 from the garden, and maybe we'll even have a guest. All right, I love you guys, and have a great week. Tell me what you do this week. Like, think about it, do it, and then next Sunday when we're on, you can tell me how your week was and what you got done. All right, I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later. Bye.